What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. You saw the title. We're talking about some of the most accurate clones in my collection. We've got 10. We've got a few new ones. We've got some that I've had for a little while, but it's a lot of newer stuff. A lot of stuff from this year where they just... Man, I'm not always for the carbon copies, but I can't deny how close and overall accurate these are to what they're trying to be. Now, I still believe if you want the original experience, you get the original. You know, or at least try it first so you can kind of understand where they were going, but they can't always capture the magic. Most of the time they can't capture the magic, but boy, sometimes they can sure get pretty damn close. So let's talk about these 10. Stay tuned. Now this is similar to Le Beau Le Parfum, and I do find it to be a little bit fresher. Just got this one recently, totally understand the hype. It is Khadlaj Island. This is damn good. This is pineapple, citrus, coconut, a little on the aquatic side, sweet and powdery, a hint floral. Very green, just so good. Such a great representation. Better than something like Glacier Bold from Maison Alhambra, where, you know, contrary to a lot of people's opinions on it, I always thought was pretty good. This is better. This is better. When in stock, it's right around $30, and build quality is great. Cool looking bottle. Phenomenal pressurized atomizer. The quality of the oils is pretty good. Honestly, I find it to be less chemically synthetic than actual Le Beau Le Parfum. So while I don't find it's quite as strong, I do find they nail down the scent profile, and it smells really freaking good. It's Khadlaj Island. Speaking of Le Beau, now we're talking Le Beau Paradise Garden. Now this starts off with the pineapple note from Le Beau Le Parfum, like we just spoke about, but the rest of the fragrance's profile is Paradise Garden. Ginger, greens, coconut water, the whole nine. Especially as it dries, it definitely becomes much more Paradise Garden. This is Lattafa's Najdia Intense. This is definitely a good one. I've worn it a few times. This is one a few of these I just recently got. These first two, just got in the last few weeks. Worn them a few times. And they're really good. And I'm a huge Le Beau fan. All three versions that are currently on the market. This is actually really good. Really good. I strongly encourage checking this one out. Now look, it's not super expensive to go after Le Beau Paradise Garden. When in stock, you can find it for under $100. This is just going to be much cheaper than that, in that $40 range. So if you want to save even more money, and it's pretty much a dead ringer. Really, it's Le Beau Paradise Garden plus pineapple at the top. That's really the only major difference I see, if anything, really. It's a great smelling fragrance. It's a decent performer. As it macerates over time, it will, most likely perform a little bit better, but it smells good right out the box, guys. Don't feel like you got to spray it and shelve it for 3 months. You can spray the fragrances right away. That was the point of my shorts video the other day, for those of you that know what we're referencing here. Yes, maceration's a real thing with these fragrances, but you can absolutely enjoy it right away. That's what I've been doing, and that's how I know it's so damn close. If you're looking for Paradise Garden on a budget, check out Najdia Intense from Lattafa. Now this is one of those rare, and I mean rare occasions, where I say, just get the clone. Doesn't happen often. Probably the most hyped clone fragrance of 2024, and it's absolutely deserving of it. It is Fragrance World's French Avenue Liquid Brun. This is Aether. Quality, pretty much the same. Profile, pretty much the same. Nuance from top to bottom, pretty much the same. Performance, pretty much the same. $40. Those of you that watch this channel on a regular basis, how often will I tell you just get the clone? It don't happen often. It's very rare. It happens, but 95 out of every 100 times, I'm going to tell you, just save up and get the original. And that's the case for a lot of these, no matter how accurate they are. I still say get the original, but this is that one in this video that I absolutely feel like you're tossing money to get the PDM bottle. At the end of the day, these clones are ripping off the art. They are rip-offs, whether you want to admit it or not. But, they ripped it off, like, very accurately. The bottle's cool, too. I do really like the bottles. It's so creamy vanilla, just the right amount of orange blossom. It's woodsy. It's not over the top spicy. It's beautiful. If you like woody vanilla fragrances, money well spent right here. It's Fragrance World's French Avenue Liquid Brun. Came out early in the year. Really nailed down the profile. I find it's a little bit woodier than Absolute Aventus, the Club de Nuit Precious from Armaf. This is the one. This is the one. This is the one I prefer to recommend. This is the one I prefer to wear. It smells so good. It's very rich, great performer. Woody, spicy, fruity, citric. All the things of Absolute Aventus. Hyper versatile. This is such a great fragrance. Right around 50 bucks. It's a 55 ml. It's not a huge bottle, but for Armaf's Club de Nuit line, this is the highest quality smelling Club de Nuit fragrance I've ever smelled. And I have the majority of them. This is a different line that they're doing. It's even got Roman numeral #1 on the bottom, so there's more to come at some point, I would think. And they stepped it up with this one. I think this is one of the best releases Armaf's had in a long time, personally. I haven't tried everything they've come out with in the last couple of years, but from what I've tried, this is a banger. It's Club de Nuit Precious. Another one that Fragrance World really stepped up to the plate with, I compared it with my decant of Platine Privé. While this doesn't have the exact same bitter almond smell, they don't even list the almond. This is more like sandalwood, saffron, leather. It gives a similar accord, but not the same. But the openings are virtually identical. This is Fragrance World's French Avenue Arsh. It's extremely similar to Guerlain L'Homme Ideal Platine Privé. The citrus, that vibrance of that citric opening, very similar to Guerlain L'Homme Ideal Cologne. But they were going for the Platine Privé, which is kind of a slightly different variation to the Cologne flanker. They even went with the color scheme of the Cologne. This is good. This is really good. I got this one recently. I've worn this one 3 or 4 times in the last 2 weeks. I'm digging this one. This is one that it's not easy to find Platine Privé. I don't know if it was a limited edition release. I think it might have been. Whatever the case, just get this for around 40 bucks. I've sure been enjoying it. Hell, my decant's right here. When I did the video the other day, it's still right here handy. Did a good job, Fragrance World. They don't always hit. Sometimes they have misses. But boy, sometimes they have some hits, and I think this is a hit. It's addictive to smell, too. And it's a pretty good performer. Fragrance World's French Avenue Arsh. Now, the quality here is the difference. The profile is the same. It is citron. It is apricot. It's tropical, fruity green, fresh, watery. It's Lucianno's Coastal Breeze. Similar to Pacific Chill. I do have a full bottle of Pacific Chill. I have only worn Pacific Chill once since I got this. I've worn this 5 times to every 1 time with Pacific Chill. Why? I don't know. I don't think it's better. You know, I think the more $300+ fragrance is better. I don't know, it's just easier to grab and spray and feel less guilty about the expense per spray. But why the hell did I buy that? And that's the thing. I had Pacific Chill first. I probably wouldn't have bought it if I'd have got this first. That's how accurate. That's how enjoyable. Doesn't quite perform as well. I get about 5 or 6 hours out of this, but I get about an 8 out of Pacific Chill. And like I said, the quality is superior. It's if you disagree with me, you're just trying to convince yourself the quality's not superior. It's not opinion. The quality's superior with Pacific Chill, but man, for the money, the mid $30 to $40 range, versus I think I paid $330 after tax for Pacific Chill at Louis Vuitton. This is it. This is it. I've talked about this one many times throughout the year. This is a great clone. This is another one. One of those rare occurrences that I'd say, just get this. And I got a full bottle of the original. And 99% of the time when I got the original, I'm going to wear the original. I genuinely wear this more. Kind of wild to me. Lucianno's Coastal Breeze. This next one on test strip, virtually identical. When you get them on skin, there's the difference. There's a cheaper cedar note here. That's the outlying factor between Greenley and Fragrance World's French Avenue Aether. Now, after a little bit, that sharpness to that cheap cedar oil that's in here settles down and it becomes very accurate. Fresh green apple, fresh greens, soft woods. You got sharp woods at first because that cheap cedar, but it softens up greatly. I gave a lot of love to this one throughout the year as well. I've worn this one more than Lucianno Coastal Breeze. The juice levels dropped a little bit more on that one. I don't spray a ton of sprays. It's like 4 or 5 sprays when I spray stuff. I'm not a heavy spray type. I ain't wild like that. I don't need the neighbors 3 blocks down to smell me. It's really good. It's really accurate. Again, it's not over the top like just bad smelling. It's a distinctive cheap cedar. Like that's the big quality difference that I get from it. Aside from that, man, if you don't want to spend the Greenley money, this is it. Now, this is one that I'm not saying get this over Greenley. Get Greenley. You want Greenley, get Greenley. I prefer it. The original's better. But for the money, let's get you close. Let's get you really close. It is good enough for most. I can honestly say I would still, if I smell Greenley and this, I would say, okay, I feel like I need to save up and get Greenley. But if you're on a budget and it's just not practical for you, this will do the trick. And this will do the trick well. And it's a, about average performance, 6-7 hour range. Pretty good. Fragrance World's Aether. Now, here's one where due to the discontinuation of what it's cloning, and recently this year I was very surprised. Fragrance World, Fragrance Net, and Fragrance Buy ended up with a small stock for like $70-80. It was crazy. So for those of you that were able to get it, good job. Congratulations. It's back to the over-the-top eBay prices now. Boss Bottled Intense EDP, the greatest Boss Bottled flanker of all time. The most appropriately named flanker of all time. Not just in that line, just in general among fragrance. The most appropriately named flanker ever. It truly is Boss Bottled, but intensified with a higher oil concentration at Eau de Parfum. It's spot on. Fragrance World, another one of their hits, Nazih Silver. They locked the profile down here. Warm apple pie, rich, sweet, spicy, fruity, woody. Above average-ish performance, around 7-8 hours in longevity for me. You're going to spend around $30 and you're going to get the same experience. I would recommend getting this over getting Boss Bottled Intense EDP because you're going to pay resale discontinued fragrance prices. This is the way to go. For under $40, this is definitely the way to go. When it comes to discontinued stuff, and they have a very accurate clone, I'm going to recommend that. We got one more where that's the case. I recommend you do that instead of it's the last one we're going to talk about. This is some good stuff. It's extremely accurate. I heard there's some other one, and then whatever the new one is at the time, that's what you're going to hear is, oh, now this is more accurate than the last one. Click my link so I can make a commission. Reality. People don't like hearing the truth, okay? Once I find something that's really accurate, I don't feel the need to seek out another one, especially since I have the original. So that's my reality. And I'm not saying everybody's like that, but you kind of notice a trend. Most people aren't stupid. Some people are stupid. Most people aren't stupid and can see what's going on. So when you come across something that is pretty accurate, the next new one isn't going to be just wildly better. I'm not saying there isn't situations where they aren't better. It does happen pretty often where they are a little bit better, but how much more accurate can extremely accurate be? That's reality. Because I've had a lot of people, oh, you got to try this new one that's, but this is super accurate. Why? I don't need another clone of it. And I would say for most of you, you don't need more than one clone of Boss Bottled Intense CDP. You don't need more than one clone of Pacific Chill. You don't need more than one clone of Greenley. If you're going clones, get that one that works for you and roll with that. And if you're looking for Boss Bottled Intense CDP, and you trust my opinion, Nazih Silver. It's the one. This one, if you want to save some money, go for it. You're going to spend $100-ish to get what it's cloning. But boy, this is a dead ringer. This is one of the most accurate ones in this video. I mean, hands down. This is from Paris Corner. This is called Veteran Oud in the Pandora Sense line. It's cloning strong with you Oud. And it is a dead ringer. It's a 50-50 thing if I let you smell the original in one hand and this in the other. I mean, it's only 2 choices. 50% chance of you getting it right. But to sit there and break it down for me on why this one's the original and this one's the clone, I feel like you'd be reaching. Because it's not like Strong With You, some super high quality luxury fragrance. They really nailed this, the woody, spicy elements with that sweet tone and the roasted chestnut, all the things that make the Strong With You DNA, and specifically the Strong With You Oud flanker, really, really freaking good. I mean, really freaking good. Paris Corner nailed it here. I mean, nailed it. The next one's a Paris Corner fragrance where they absolutely nailed it as well. They have impressed me a lot the last 2 years with accuracy. Not always the best when it comes to matching quality, and that's for most of them. Not everybody's Afnan. Afnan's got some really good quality oils, but even then, they're not necessarily locking it down with certain fragrances. They're trying to walk the path. But man, for around $35, you're going to save about $70. It is a dead ringer. A dead ringer for Strong With You Oud. And it's Paris Corner's Veteran Oud and their Pandora Scents line. And last but not least, this goes back to don't spend the money on the discontinued designer. 1 Million Prive is phenomenal. I have praised this fragrance since the moment I got it for over a year now. Paris Corner, Milano Prive in the Pandora Scents line. Now look, the truth, I don't wear this. I've worn it a couple of times when I was testing it to do the review. But I have 2 bottles of 1 Million Prive. I'm just going to wear the original. But for those of you that don't have 1 Million Prive and you always wanted it, or you're newer in this space and you heard it was phenomenal and you're like, that seems like a profile I'd like. That's like $25. It is 1 Million Prive in a different bottle. Ambery, rich tobacco, cinnamon spice, nice and sweet, has that 1 Million style, almost bubble, not really all that bubblegum sweet, but similar sweetness to the original. 1 Million Prive for a lot of people is the best flanker they've ever put out. I think it's the autumn season in a bottle. It's reds and oranges and yellows. It's the whole fall harvest color scheme is what I see when I smell this fragrance. It's spot on. It's spot on. The quality is spot on because 1 Million from Paco Rabanne, that's not some high quality fragrance. They're cheap synthetic oils. Just like this is. You're spending $150, $200 on that discontinued fragrance. This is $25, and I'm serious when I say this. It's the same. It's the same. I'm glad I came across it so I could recommend it to you guys that want to get 1 Million Prive and hopefully try to save you from spending that money that you really don't need to spend. Look, if you want it because you're completing the 1 Million line, okay, you're going to need to add it to the collection if you're doing the completionist side of things. I get that. But if you just want it to wear it, save your money. Save your money. It's that accurate. Milano Prive from Paris Corner. Well, that's the 10. That's the 10 that are probably the most accurate clones in my collection. As far as affordable Middle Eastern stuff, that's it. That's the ones, and there's a variety. A lot of these, there's multiple clones, like whatever fragrance they're cloning, there's tons of them out there. Like I mentioned with Boss Bottled Intense EDP. You don't need them all, guys. You don't necessarily need these. It's a luxury. These are wants, okay? If it resonates with you, it seems like something you would like. Big boys and big girls, spend your money as you choose. But if you have 3 other Absolute Aventus clones and not this one, don't buy this one. You don't need it. You have 3 of them already. If you have another fragrance that smells like Le Beau Le Parfum, doesn't matter how good I feel this one is, you're good. You don't need another Le Beau Le Parfum clone. Just telling you the truth, guys, trying to lead you in the right direction. Now, if you do want to pick some of these up, there's links down below. I do earn a small commission. I would greatly appreciate you using the link if you're going to do that. But again, if you got multiple clones of some of these, you don't need it. You don't need it. But if you're looking for some good ones and you value my opinion, I feel these are some good ones. That's why they're in this video. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe before you leave. And I'll see you on the next one.